People think the Grand Canyon is just a beautiful tourist destination, a place carved by nature, shaped by time, and admired from a distance. But those who have spent enough time there know the truth. The Grand Canyon doesn't just exist. It watches. I learned that the hard way. I arrived at the canyon in late October, when the crowds were thin and the air carried an uneasy silence. The kind of silence that doesn't feel empty but observant. Rangers warned us to stay on marked trails, to avoid certain areas without explanation. Their smiles were polite, but their eyes carried something else. Fear. That was my first warning. On my second day, I met an old local guide named Thomas. He had worked near the canyon for over 30 years. When I asked him if people really went missing here, he didn't answer right away. He just stared into the canyon and said, "Sometimes the ground doesn't give people back." He told me about a place hikers whispered about, a stretch of land unofficially known as the Vanishing Zone. No signs, no barriers, just a feeling. People who walked into it often described dizziness, confusion, and then nothing. One case still haunted him. A father and his teenage son were hiking in broad daylight, less than a mile from a popular trail. The father stopped to adjust his camera. The son walked ahead. 30 seconds passed. When the father looked up, the boy was gone. Search teams arrived within minutes. Dogs lost the scent instantly. Helicopters found no sign of movement. No body. No evidence of a fall. Just a missing person, swallowed by the canyon. That night, I camped near the edge. I wish I hadn't. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to voices, not loud, almost gentle, echoing upward from deep inside the canyon. At first, I thought it was wind, but then I heard words. My name. I froze. The voice sounded human, but wrong, like it was repeating sounds it didn't fully understand. When I recorded the audio on my phone, the sound disappeared, but when I played it back later, there was a third voice layered beneath mine, whispering. Park officials later told me it was audio distortion. They always say that. The next morning, I learned about something even stranger. In 1909, an explorer claimed to have found a hidden cave deep inside the canyon. Inside were artifacts resembling ancient Egyptian relic hieroglyphs, statues, and mummified remains. The article was published, then erased. The Smithsonian denied any involvement. The explorer vanished from records. The cave was never found again. And yet, certain areas of the canyon are permanently restricted to this day. Why? Then came the most disturbing part. Time doesn't behave normally in the Grand Canyon. One hiker entered a side trail at 2:30 in the afternoon. He said he explored for maybe 40 minutes. When he returned, it was after midnight. Rescue teams were already searching for him. His watch had stopped. His phone battery was somehow full. When asked what happened, he said something chilling. It felt like the canyon noticed me and didn't want to let me go. Local Native American tribes have warned about this place for centuries. They speak of shape-shifting entities, beings that mimic human voices to lure people away from safety. They say these entities live in places where the land itself is unstable. Rangers don't talk about this, but some have anonymously admitted they've seen figures standing motionless on cliffs at night. Too tall, too thin, watching. When light touches them, they vanish. In 2016, a photographer went missing while capturing sunset footage. His camera was later recovered. The final video shows the canyon trembling slightly, followed by a deep humming sound. The photographer whispers, almost calmly, "There's something moving down there." The video ends abruptly. His body was never found. To this day, over 1,000 disappearances in and around the Grand Canyon remain unexplained. Officials blame falls, heat, and poor judgment, but none of that explains missing time, vanishing trails, or voices calling names from impossible depths. Some believe the canyon sits on a powerful geological anomaly. Others believe it's a spiritual gateway. And some believe the truth is buried to protect tourism, or to protect us from knowing what's really there. Because some places aren't meant to be fully understood. And the Grand Canyon is one of them. So if you ever stand at its edge, staring into that endless depth, remember this: not everything that disappears is lost. Some things are taken, and some mysteries are never meant to be solved.